ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुक्तापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्ते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी विश्वभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So, welcome to Corporate Gita. We are reading from ninth chapter today, and it's a very important chapter. Last time we were talking about 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. So, the acharyas, they give this example of a diamond or a gold ring inside a box that you can see here on the screen. What they say, that the most precious thing is inside the box, so we need to open it, right? Similarly, in the Bhagavad Gita, there are 18 chapters, and they are divided into 666. And the first 6 chapters are like the outer box, and this is the other box, and the middle 6 chapter is the diamond or the precious thing. So in the middle 6 chapters, that is 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, the 9th chapter is the most shining thing. The 9th chapter is the most shining thing. This is how they explain the importance of this particular chapter, 9th chapter. And Krishna himself yeah, Krishna himself gives importance of this chapter, as we will see. Just a minute.
Yeah.
Okay. So Krishna himself will tell about the importance of this chapter in the very first verse. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha idam tu te guhyatamam pravakshami anusuyave jnanam vijnanam sahitam yajnatva moksha shubhat. The Supreme Personality, Sri Krishna, Bhagavan Sri Krishna, he says, my dear Arjuna, because you are never envious of me, I shall impart to you this most confidential knowledge and realization, knowing which you shall be relieved of this miseries of material existence. So first thing he says, dear Arjuna, Arjuna, you are very dear to me. You are priya to me. Because you are never envious of me. Enviousness. Enviousness means why that person has so much and I don't have it. Right? That kind of feeling, and I want it and he should not have it. That kind of feeling is the enviousness feeling. Arjuna never had this feeling for Krishna. Arjuna never had this feeling for Krishna. Now, let's say you have a friend and he's a very rich friend, rich person. Do you have that feeling for that friend? How much rich he is, why I'm not so rich? Or see how 5 cars he has. I don't even have a car. Do you have that feeling for your friend? If you don't have that feeling for a friend, then you are a true friend, right? You are not envious. You are not thinking bad about him, right? That such was the case of Arjuna. Krishna is a supreme lord, and he used to show a lot of opulence. And Arjuna was never envious, never uh, thinking anything bad about Krishna. To such a person, Krishna says, I will give you the most confidential knowledge and realization. Confidential. The word guhyatamam means confidential, means secret. Secretive, very essence. That knowledge and realization I will give it to you. Knowing by which you will be relieved of all the miseries of material existence. Meaning whatever dukkha that we have in this world, we will be relieved by that. Ashubhat. Mokshashe. You will be released. Ashubhat. There is shubh in this world and there is ashubh in this world. So you will moksha, you will liberate from that ashubh by just knowing this knowledge. Okay. Regarding envy, I'll tell you, there was once in a newspaper, it was said, how rich is Bill Gates? So they wanted to explain, how rich is Bill Gates. So they said, let's say Bill Gates is walking on the road and from his pocket falls down $1,000. $1,000 is 80,000 rupees. Okay. $1,000 falls from his pocket. Now Bill Gates comes to know and he's trying to pick it up. And it is said, by the time he takes to pick it up, he has already earned another $1,000. That much rich he is. So you can imagine, how much richness he has. Now Bill Gates will have some friends also, right? That he will invite them at their home and all that. So whom he will invite at home? Those who are not envious of him. Those who are true friends of him. Those who think well-wishing of him, right?
Yes.
So now Krishna is saying, Arjuna, you are that person. In Krishna's time, that was 5,000 years ago, there were many who were envious of Krishna. The highest was the Shishupal, named person Shishupal. He used to blaspheme Krishna, saying that, Krishna should not have these many things. I should have it. His marriage was fixed to Rukmini, but Krishna came and took Rukmini away. Why? Because Rukmini wrote a love letter to Krishna and said that I want to marry you, not this Shishupal. So you come and take away. So Krishna got a reason. And in that times, the Kshatriyas used to fight. So Krishna fought, took Rukmini away. So Shishupal was very angry. Finally, Shishupal got his head cut. There was another person named Poundra. He said, Krishna is not true Vasudev. I am that Vasudev. Vasudev means one who has 4 hands. So he kept 4 hands, 2 extra hands on his shoulders. These were dummy hands. And he used to dress like Vasudev, have a tilak and wear full garland and necklace and gold, and he used to walk in his kingdom. I suppose his kingdom was Kashi, but may not Kashi, maybe something else. But that's how he used to say that Krishna is not the real Vasudev. I am that Vasudev. Finally, he also got destroyed by Krishna. Then there is Duryodhan. Duryodhan was also envious of Krishna. So much envious that he came to know Krishna is not going to take part in the Mahabharata war. But he has given an option that you can use his army. So he said, I'll take Krishna's army. So he came to Krishna, he took his army. And Arjuna said, I want only you, Krishna. That's how Krishna is all alone, but his army is on the other side of Duryodhana, with Duryodhana. So, uh, so there are many people who are envious of God. There are so much envious of God is that they will say God is dead. Finally, they will say God is dead. To all these, this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita is not to be told. Why? Because then they will say, what foolish thing you are talking. Hmm? They will blaspheme the Bhagavad Gita only. So it's better not to tell them. Getting?
Yes, yes, Prabhuji.
See, it's a very important point here. The whole Bhagavad Gita is understood by Arjuna, and one of his greatest qualification was that he is not envious of Krishna. So who will understand Bhagavad Gita? Who is not envious? Who is following in the footsteps of Arjuna? That's why many people read Bhagavad Gita, but they may not be able to understand the essence of it because they have this little bit enviousness for Krishna. Hmm? So, very interestingly, Krishna says, never envious of me. Anusuve. Anusuyave. That's the word he has used. Okay. As the devotee hears more and more about Supreme Lord, he becomes enlightened. Enlightened. Meaning he gets that knowledge and he's becoming more aware of how the Supreme Lord is, who is he, how he works, where does he live, what he eats, whatever, etc. etc. This hearing process is recommended in Srimad Bhagavatam. The messages of Supreme Personal Godhead are full of potencies, and these potencies can be realized if topics regarding the Supreme Godhead are discussed among devotees. This cannot be achieved when the association of mental speculators, academic scholars, for it is realized knowledge. See, mental speculators, academic scholars, they are learning only theoretically. Theoretically, they know. They have expertise in Sanskrit translation and they get confused in that only. Because in Sanskrit, a word may mean 9 meanings. Now, which meaning you have to put, right? For that, you have to learn how to understand the context. So, it is little difficult. But the academic scholars, they always choose the wrong context only. So, Shastric knowledge has to be learned from a guru. Krishna says this in Bhagavad Gita. Tat viddhi prani pratena pariprashnena sevaya upadeshadanti yeganam jnanena tattva darshinaha. You should learn it from a guru who has known the truth. Okay. So previously, knowledge was passed down in the parampara from guru to shishya. Right now also it is happening like that. Even modern education is like that only, teachers to student. Okay, but the parampara should be started by Krishna himself. That is not there in modern education. That parampara is started in between 100 years ago, 200 years ago. That's it. So it is not started by Krishna. So there, what knowledge you get is not realized knowledge. It is just information. This is realized knowledge. Realized knowledge means true knowledge that will help a person eternally. What knowledge we get in our modern education is not realized knowledge. It's just information. Ultimately, we use that information to earn money. Okay. Everything is temporary in this world, so we earn temporarily. We sometimes become rich, we remain average, whatever. Some people become poor. But ultimately, after death, one has to leave everything and go. But this knowledge, it remains after death also. That is the power of spiritual knowledge. Spiritual knowledge remains even after death. It uh, it brings us so many spiritual credit that after death, which family we will get is decided by our punya, papa, and adhyatmic piousness also. So you can see here, person may have lot of accomplishment, but if he doesn't have piousness in him, the next life, all that thing goes away at the time of death. Next life, he gets different kind of father, mother. But a spiritualist, because he's practicing devotional service, he's practicing some spiritual practice, that remains with him even after death. And then next life he gets family, where he gets opportunity to grow from where he had left in his spiritual life. So this is the power of spiritual knowledge, realized knowledge. Okay. A devotee are constantly engaged in Supreme Lord's service. The Lord understands the mentality and sincerity of a particular living entity who is engaged in Krishna consciousness and gives him the intelligence to understand the science of Krishna in the association of devotees. Interestingly, the knowledge also to understand also comes from Krishna. Why or how? How does Krishna gives us the intelligence to understand? In our heart, we are staying as the soul, and there is Paramatma, super soul. That is nothing but Krishna.
Mm.
And what he is giving? He is giving three things to us: knowledge, remembrance, forgetfulness. Knowledge, remembrance, forgetfulness. In the later chapter 15.15, Krishna talks about this. Sarvasya chaham hriday sannavishto matah smritir jnanam apohanam cha vaidesha sarve raham vedo vedantkrit veda vidu chaham. I am seated in everyone's heart as Paramatma. From me comes remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. So Krishna gives us knowledge, he gives us intelligence because he is giving us as Paramatma. And who want to understand more on the spiritual knowledge, he will tell within his heart. Discussion of Krishna is very potent, and if a fortunate person has such an association and tries to assimilate the knowledge, then he will surely make advancement towards spiritual realization. Lord Sri Krishna is, in order to encourage Arjuna to higher and higher elevation in his potent service, describes in this 9th chapter matters more confidential than he has already discussed. Okay, more confidential. It's a secret of the secrets that he is going to discuss in this chapter. The very beginning of Bhagavad Gita, the first chapter, is more or less an introduction to the rest of the book. Okay, first chapter is like an introduction. What does Arjuna says in first chapter? This war is about to start. Arjuna says, let me see who all have come to fight. And so Krishna takes him in the middle of the battlefield and shows him, see, your grandfather is here, your teacher is there, your relatives are here, your uncles, fathers, everybody is here. But the only problem is they are on the other side of the war, other side of the battle. What does that mean? That means they are
Opposite.
they are going to fight with you, and this is not a friendly fight. They will die. So thinking that I will lose my people, my own family members, Arjuna gives various reasons why he should not fight, should not kill elders. If he destroys, so many people will die. Who will take care of their children, their wife, and who will teach the younger generation? There will be so much of destruction just for this kingdom. I don't think we should fight. That was the introduction. The second and third chapter, the spiritual knowledge described here is called confidential. Second chapter, the spiritual knowledge is Dehino sim yata dehe komaram yonojana tata dehantar prapti dhirastatana muhite. The embodied soul continuously passes in this body. Okay, and at the time of that, he get new body. So the real identity is the soul. It acquires this temporary identity to go through the human journey, but otherwise he is a spiritual thing. And spiritual person and spiritual soul never dies. Na hanyate hanyamane sharire. By anything, by water, by sword, by wind, by fire, by air, you cannot kill the soul. That is confidential knowledge. That was discussed in the second. Topics discussed in the 7th and 8th chapters are specifically related to devotional service and because they bring enlightenment in Krishna consciousness. The 7th and 8th chapter, they introduce us to devotional service. Okay, Krishna says, who surrender to me and who don't surrender to me. And those who surrender, how they go to the spiritual world. There are 3 paths to it. That all information is given. That is little more confidential. But the matters which are discussed in 9th chapter deal with the unalloyed pure devotion. That is even more most confidential. Okay, there is confidential, more confidential, most confidential. So 9th chapter is most confidential. The best secrets are there in this chapter. Now, interestingly, Bhagavad Gita is open. So this is an open secret. Anybody can read it. One who is situated in the most confidential knowledge of Krishna is naturally transcendental. He therefore has no material pranks. Although he in the material world, in the Bhakti Rasamrita, it is said that although one has a sincere desire to render loving service to the Supreme Lord, is situated in a conditional state of material existence, he is to be considered liberated. So those who are serving the Lord in loving service, in bhakti, they are already to be considered liberated. They have already got moksha. That is the greatest advantage of bhakti yoga. In other yogas, you are not considered liberated. You are almost liberated. But in bhakti yoga, you are already liberated. Even if there is a mistake, Krishna will personally take care of you. Isn't that a liberated position? Yes or no?
Yes.
That is the power and advantage of bhakti yoga. Similarly, we shall find in Bhagavad Gita, 10th chapter, that is next chapter, that anyone who is engaged in this way is a liberated person. Now, this first verse has specific significance. Now this verse itself has been discussed. It's a very important verse. The first and second verse, very, very important words. The word idam jnana, this knowledge, refers to pure devotional service. Okay, Krishna is going to talk about bhakti yoga. What it is? It consists of 9 different activities: hearing about Krishna, chanting, remembering, serving, worshipping, praying, obeying, maintaining friendship, and surrendering everything. Okay, 9 different activities. This was said by whom? Prahlad Maharaj in Lord Narsimha's pastime. Okay, he says Navadha Bhakti. The 9 things are there. By practice of these 9 elements of devotional service, one is elevated to spiritual consciousness. So, we rise in our spiritual life by doing all these 9 activities, of which the first 3 are considered very important. Everyone does it. Hearing about Krishna, just like now we are hearing about Krishna through Bhagavad Gita, through Bhagavatam. Then chanting his holy name, repeating what he has said, remembering Krishna. When one heart is thus cleared of material contamination, one can understand the science of Krishna. What is the material contamination? Lust, greed, anger. 3 main things: lust, greed, anger. Lust is I want to enjoy this thing separately, and something is obstructing, then I'll get angry, and I want to be greedy in this world. So 3 things are great contamination. So when we chant the holy name, all this contamination is removed. Then we can understand science of Krishna very quickly. Simply understand the living entity is not material and is not sufficient. So just understanding that spirit soul, I am spirit soul is not enough. Brahmasmi Tattvamasi is not enough. They may be beginning of spiritual realization, but one should recognize the difference between activities of the body and the spiritual activities of one should understand that he is not the body. Okay, you are Brahmasmi. You are Brahman, fine. But then on Brahman, what do you have to do? Do you know? That's where people don't know. That's where Bhakti Yoga starts. Bhakti Yoga is activities done, these 9 activities done, which are on spiritual platform. They are not on material platform. They are Adhyatmic platform, spiritual platform, which the Gyanis they don't do. They are interested only in Brahmasmi. In the 7th chapter, we have already discussed the opulent potency of the Supreme Personal Godhead, his different energies, the inferior and superior energy, and all this material manifestation. Now, in chapter 9, the glories of the Lord will be delineated. The word anusuyave in this verse is very significant. Generally, commentators, even if they are highly scholarly, all are envious of Krishna. We discussed this, the Supreme Personal Godhead. Even the most erudite scholars write on Bhagavad Gita very inaccurately because they are envious of Krishna. These commentaries are useless. Do you agree with this statement? Their commentaries are useless. Any doubt?
No, Prabhuji.
Someone may say, Are, how come it is useless? Some use may be there, no? If he's not 100% right, he's at least 50% right. Now, what is the problem? What is the explanation? What is the explanation? Let's say, you want to buy a book on physics or mathematics. You go to a shop and he shows there are so many books on mathematics, right? He shows these are also there, these authors also there, that is also there, this is also there. Then you'll say, oh, what is the difference between this and this book, right? Now the shopkeeper says, this is 80% of this is right. Okay, this book is 80% right, this book is 100% right, but this 80% book is less chargeable, 100 rupees only. This 100% right is 500 rupees. Which one will you pick up?
100% one.
Yeah.
Because they convey wrong information actually.
Yes. So, books of education, the law books, they have to be 100% right. Otherwise, it is useless, right?
Yes.
Someone says, ये books में थोड़ा mistakes है. Will you buy the book? No way. So that's why, this statement that they are useless is to be understood that way. Okay. One should not get offended. Are useless? Oh, no. Aisa nahi. You have to understand it rightly. The commentators given by devotee. Now, devotees are also commentated on Bhagavad Gita, like Ramanacharya, Yamunacharya, Madhvacharya. So many other devotees also there. That are bona fide. No one can explain Bhagavad Gita or perfect knowledge of Krishna if he is envious. One who criticizes the character of Krishna without knowing him is a fool. Now, election time is going on. So many people are saying so many things, right? He's like that, he's like this, he's that, right? We may say, have you studied him? Have you studied his last 20 years of life? And you're just making a statement. That means you are a fool, right? Similarly, one has to understand the character of Krishna. To understand the whole Bhagavad Gita, then we understand Krishna. So such commentators should be very carefully avoided. One who understands that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the pure and transcendent, personally these chapters is very beneficial. So theoretically, at least we should know Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. What is the meaning of this word, Supreme Personality of Godhead? What is this? Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. In the whole Bhagavad Gita, right? Whenever Vyasadeva writes, he writes Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. He never says Shri Krishna Uvacha. To Arjuna, he will say Arjuna Uvacha. But when it comes to Krishna, he doesn't say Shri Krishna Uvacha. He says Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Why like that? This Bhagavan means Supreme Personality of Godhead. So there are meaning of the word Bhagavan. Bhagavan. Bhagavan means one who has 6 opulences in full. Okay, in full, unlimited quantity. That is Bhagavan. What 6 opulences? First is beauty. Second is wealth. Third is strength. Fourth is knowledge. This was given by Parashara Muni, the definition of Bhagavan. Then is renunciation. Sixth is fame. If you see, if somebody has this little bit also, one of it, he becomes famous. Yes or no? All
Yes, of
actor
course.
actresses are very beautiful, but are they knowledgeable? No. So even if one has little bit of it, of any one thing, he becomes very famous, right? Athletes, they are very strong, but are they beautiful? No. Are they wealthy? No. They come from very poor background. Renunciates, those who are able to give up everything, they also become famous. But are they beautiful? Are they wealthy? Strength? No. And does anyone has all-time fame? No. Little bit of famous. So this is the thing. Bhagavan is one who has these 6 opulences in full, unlimited quantity.
Mm.
And Parashara Muni, he says Krishna has all of these in full, unlimited quantity. He is very beautiful. On the battlefield, he was probably 90 years old, maybe even more than that, 80 or 90 years old. But he was looking like a young boy, 16-year-old young boy. Now, eternally, Krishna looks like 16-year-old young boy. Interesting, right? Wealth, Sahastra Lakshmi. He has thousands and thousands and thousands of Lakshmi under him, and they have all the wealth. Strength. When Krishna was a baby, or he was 6 or 7 years old, he lifted up mountain.
Yeah.
If Krishna takes part in Olympics, you can just imagine how many medals he can win. He will all the medals. Knowledge. Krishna's Bhagavad Gita, Krishna spoke. Now is very famous, right? What kind of knowledge it is? He gives the whole Vedas. Renunciation. Krishna can give up everything in this world. He was born in a prison. He went to forest to live with Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda. He was not attached. I was born in a king's family and all that. He was not attached. Fame. Krishna is famous throughout the Vedas. So that's how Krishna is actually real Bhagwan. So the word Bhagwan is used for Krishna. Now, Prabhupada has translated this Bhagwan as Supreme Personality of Godhead. We need to understand every term of this. Then we can fully understand why it is used. Supreme means what? There is no one greater than that. But one can use the word Ishvara. But there are many Ishvaras. Many Ishvaras are there. Many controllers. Ishvara simply means controller. But Krishna is Ishvara Parama Krishna. He is Parama Krishna. Parama Ishvara. Supreme controller. Now you understand?
Yeah, Parameshwara. Okay.
Yeah. Personality. Personality simply means person. Some people say God is energy. Huh? God is energy. God is universe. So that doesn't give idea of personality, right? Energy needs to have somebody to control it. So that person is called energetic. So energetic is always a person. So Krishna is person. He is not just the energy, but the person who is controlling all the energies. There are two types of energies. Actually, there are three. Um, One is spiritual energy, one is material energy, and another one is tathastha energy, marginal energy. All these three things controlled by the person Krishna. That's why Krishna is a person. So God is a person. So ultimately, some people say God is energy and all that, na? But Bhagwan, energy, does energy have any of these qualities? Energy is beautiful. Energy is wealthy. Have you heard that thing? Electric energy. It is strong, but is it beautiful? Is it knowledgeable?
Oh,
No, right? So energy by itself doesn't have these qualities. Only a person will have the qualities, right? So Bhagavan is a person. So God is a person. See, this one word Bhagavan means so many things, okay? Okay. Supreme we discussed, personality we discussed, Godhead. Okay, I've heard about God, but now what is this Godhead? What do you think Godhead means?
head.
Head of all gods. Let's put it in simple words.
Yeah.
Okay. Which gods they are talking about? Devatas. So there are
Mm.
many Devatas in this world. Shiva, Brahma, Agni, Indra. They are also Ishwaras. They are also controlling some energy. Godhead. Head of all these gods is Krishna. So where all this information comes from? If one asks, give me Shastra uh, Praman. We have to give Shastra Praman. Otherwise, what we speak is false. So let me give you Shastra Praman. Brahma Samhita. The Brahma Samhita is Lord Brahma himself sung this whole Samhita, prayers. It is his prayers. He says, Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. Ishvara Parama Krishna. Okay, he's using the word Krishna. We know who is Krishna. Devaki Krishna. He is Parama Ishvara. All the Ishvaras are there. He becomes the head of all the Ishvaras. All the Devatas. Satchidananda Vigraha. Vigraha means form. How is his form? Sat Chitta Ananda. It is eternal. Chit is full of knowledge. Ananda means it is blissful. Who is looking at Krishna will become happy. Anadir Adir Govinda. Anadir Adir. He is the oldest of the oldest of the oldest of the oldest. Govinda, his another name is Govinda. Sarva Karana Karanam. He is the cause of all causes. There is a cause to everything, right? And the cause of all the causes are there in this world. How the world started, the birth, everything, everything, everything. He is the cause. Who? Krishna. Krishna, who is known as Govinda, is the supreme Godhead. He has an eternal blissful spiritual body. He's a person. Only thing is spiritual person, not material person. He's origin of all. He has no other origin and he's the prime cause of all causes. Okay, Anadi, without beginning. Okay, he doesn't have any beginning. And he's the beginning of everyone. He doesn't have beginning, but he's the beginning of everyone. This is how Lord Brahma says. Okay. So the word Bhagavan means six opulences. It means he is the controller of supreme controller, he is a person and he is head of all gods. Devatas. He is the head of all Devatas. Shiva is also called Mahadev, right?
Yeah.
Shiva is also called Bhagavan Shiva. Why? He also has all these opulences. But does he have in unlimited quality? No. Now there are okay. In the Brahma Samhita only this explanation is given. क्षीरम यथा दधि विकार विशेष योगात् संजायते न हि तथा प्रतिगस्ति हेतु यह शंभुताम अपि तथा समुपैत कार्यात् गोविंदमादि पुरुषम तमहम भजामि. Just as milk is transformed into curd, curd means dahi. So dahi comes from milk, right? By actions of acids. Yet the effect the curd is neither same nor different from the cause. Curd comes from milk, so it is not different, right? But is it same as milk? No. Can you make it milk? No. Once curd done. So I adore the primeval Lord Govinda, of whom the state of Shambhu, that is Shiva, is a transformation for performance of work of destruction. So Shiva is actually Guna Avatar to perform the work of destruction, that is Tamasa. So all the Tamasa mode of material nature is there, na? Sattvagun, Rajogun, Tamogun. So the control of the Tamagun is Shiva. But he is like curd coming from milk, which is Krishna. Got it?
Okay.
And in this particular chapter, other things are also talked about. Durga Devi. सृष्टि स्थिति प्रलय साधन शक्ति रेख छाएव यस्य भुवनानि विभर्ति दुर्गा इच्छान रूप अपि यस्य च शेषा गोविंदमादि पुरुषम तहमं भजामि. The external potency Maya, who is the nature of the world of Chit potency, is worshipped by all people known as Durga. Okay, everyone worships Durga. Durga Devi, Navaratri, Dashahara, so many. The creating, persevering and destroying agency of this material world. I adore the primeval Lord in accordance to whose will Durga conducts herself. So how does Durga work? Krishna tells she works like that. Okay. So that's how Krishna is the supreme person of Godhead. And another verse is also there. We have lot of famous Ganapati, Ganesha.
Yeah.
Ganesha is what? Vignaharta, right? Vignaharta. But how he gets the power to overcome all the vigna of the people? It is explained here. Yat pad pallava yugam vinidhaya kumbha dvande pranama samaye sa ganadi raja vignan vihantu malamasta jagatrayasa govindam adi purusham tamaham pajami. I adore the primeval Lord Govinda, whose lotus feet are always held by Ganesha. So Ganesha is worshipping Krishna and held his lotus feet, that is Krishna's feet he has held upon the pair of tumuli, that means his tusk that is going from this elephant head, in order to obtain power for his function of destroying all the obstacles in the path of progress of three worlds. Vignaharta. The Vignaharta takes power from whom? Govinda, by keeping his lotus feet on his head. Getting? So like that, other demigods, all that is also explained.
So these three worlds are basically Bhuloka, Swargaloka, and Patalaloka, right?
Actually, there are 14 planet system, but broad category is 3 loks. Yeah, broad category is this, but
okay.
14 planet system. Yeah, 14 planet system is there.
Okay.
You can see here. Okay, so Bhurloka is this Earth planet. Okay, but it is not just the Earth; it is outer Earth also. There is outer Earth also. Okay. Then Atal Patal, these are also there. These are not underground, but they are there. They have their own planets and all that. Then there are planets which are above. This is called, there are actually three types of Swargalokas. One is the heavenly planet, which is above the Bhuvarloka. One heavenly planet is on this Bhuvarloka, and another heavenly planet is in the Sutala Loka. All these lower planets, they are there. So heaven is actually three. Depending on the consciousness of the person, he goes to Devata, heavenly planet, or he remains on the Bhuvarloka, heavenly planet, or he goes to Patal Loka, heavenly planet, where the Rakshasa are also enjoying. Anyway, so this is the thing. If you watch this video now, this particular video ad,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
so in this video you will get all information, how it is.
Okay. Yeah. Mm.
Okay, so we spent a lot of time on 9.1 only. We have like
Yeah.
7 minutes. But these first two verses are very, very important. We may not be able to complete, but we'll do halfway. Again, we will do start next week,
Okay.
second only. So, the second verse, Raj Vidya Raj Huyam Pavitram Idam Uttamam Pratyakshavāgamam Dharmam Susukam Kartum Avyayam. Every word has a very powerful meaning. Raj Vidya. Okay, Vidya is there. It is been added by Raja. Raja. Raja means king. So this Vidya is what? King of all knowledge. Raj Guyam. It is king of all secrets. Guyam. Guyam. Guha. Guha means cave. In the cave you can keep secrets, right? So Raj Vidya Raj Guyam. King of all secrets, king of all knowledge. Pavitram idam uttamam. It's pavitra, it's pure, it is not contaminated. It also means time cannot destroy it. You see, all our physics, chemistry, mathematics will be destroyed by time, okay? But this knowledge, not destroyed. Idam uttamam. Uttamam means best of the best of the best of the best. Simple words. Pratyakshavāgamam. Pratyaksha. Meaning this knowledge, it is pratyaksha. Pratyaksha means it will be experiential. Okay. Interesting word, pratyaksham. See, there are some knowledge which is not very pratyaksha. We do coding and all that, software. Is it very pratyaksha? The pratyaksha is the hardware, right? Technically speaking, pratyaksha is the hardware because the hardware moves.
We can see.
You can see, you can feel, but the software, can you feel? No. So that is not pratyaksha. It's of course a pratyaksha, but we know it is there. Its software is working. But this knowledge is pratyaksha. We can experience it. We can see it. We can feel it by our six senses. Pratyakshavāgamam dharmyam. It is dharma. It is full of dharma. It is zero adharma. It is full of dharma. Susukham. It is very sukha. Sukhdai. It is very pleasing. Kartum avyayam. Avyayam means it is not temporary. It's everlasting. It is the principle of religion. Dharmam. Dharma means in this particular chapter, Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada explains what is dharma. There is actually no direct meaning for the word dharma in English. What does dharma means? Dharma in English is called religion, but actually it is the idea of faith. And faith may change, but dharma doesn't change, okay? Dharma doesn't change. What does that mean? Dharma means you cannot take liquidity out of water, right? If you say water, it has to be liquid. Can you take heat out of fire? If you say fire, meaning there will be heat with it. That is the dharma. It is the integral part. You cannot remove it. It is the essence of that particular thing. Okay. Thus, from the living entity, the dharma of is the integral, eternal integral part. That is Sanatana Dharma. And this ninth chapter knowledge, Bhakti Yoga actually, in other words, is Dharma. It is the integral part of the living entity. Got it?
Yes, yes, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a very deep meaning. Dharma. Meaning all the Vidya, the Guhyam, the Pavitram, the Uttamam, it's such an integral of the integral of the integral Vidya, integral secret, integral Pavitra, integral Uttama, Pratyaksha. I'll talk about this Pratyaksha. I had one friend, and we were talking on Bhagavad Gita, and he made a very interesting statement. Okay, he said Bhagavad Gita is such a mystery. It is such a mystery that no one has understood, and I also won't understand. If it had to be so much mystery, then all the acharyas would have never told about this, right? So somebody is trying to justify his inability to understand bhakti, to understand Bhagavad Gita by saying that it is a mystery. But actually, it is not a mystery. One who is non-envious can understand it, and it is pratyaksha. Okay, it is experienced, and it is dharma, everlasting. Kartum means execute. Okay, this knowledge is the king of all education, the most secret of all secrets. It is the purest knowledge, and because it gives direct perception of the self by realization, it is the perfection of all religion. Dharma, dharma means sweet. If you take sugar, sugar means sweet. It cannot mean anything else. If somebody gives you sugar cane, you know that if I bite the sugar cane, it has to be sweet, right?
Yes.
But somebody can show bamboo also, because bamboo almost looks like sugar cane. So immediately by biting bamboo, you'll say, "Alright, this is not sugarcane," right?
Yes.
Similarly, of all the dharma, the integral part of it is bhakti yoga, and that is what is real dharma. It is everlasting and it is joyfully performed. It is joyfully performed. There is no pain in doing that. Currently exams are going on, 12th exams and all that. 12th exam may be done, but all entrance exams are going on. Is it joyfully performed by the children?
No.
It is a terrible thing under so much pressure.
Yeah.
and kids will commit suicide also when the result comes out, now, or even before the result. I will fail.
Yeah, I know. I know one of my neighbor actually. He got 85%,
Ah.
and he applied for re-exam.
Okay.
He's not he's not happy with what he has got.
Okay.
And
Okay.
that is also like because of his parents' pressure.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is it is not joyfully performed.
Yeah.
Hmm? It is not joyfully performed. But bhakti yoga is joyfully performed. So we may say we are putting children in education and all that, but is it joyfully performed? No, it lacks that point, right? In China, they give a very tough exam, which is even tougher than IIT, to get into entrance into universities. Similarly, in Korea also it is there. After the exam, you know what the children do? Once the exam is done, they take the books, they tear it apart, and they throw it away.
Mm.
There are many videos of it. So after reading Bhagavad Gita, do we do that with Bhagavad Gita? So that's what it means, joyfully performed. Okay. what it is all about. Next week we'll get into the details. So, any questions or comment?
No, Prabhuji. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, don't have any questions.